1v1. The game starts when the goalkeeper plays the ball out to one of the attackers to show to receive the ball. The attacker must beat the defender in a 1v1 contest. He is not allowed to pass the ball until he gets past the halfway line. If he gets across the line, then he can play a 3v2 in that half. The defender can only chase up to the halfway line. If the defenders win the ball, they can then counter-attack on the goal. Player 2 starts with the ball and attempts to dribble past player 1. Player 2 has to try and dribble through the goal to score. If player 2 intercepts the ball, he then attacks the goal at the opposite end. Once player 2 has passed the halfway line, the next player can attempt to win the ball. If player 1 doesn't score, he then turns and attacks the far goal protected by player 3. This exercise is the 1v1 duel. The game starts with the goalkeeper playing the ball out. The attacker has to try and score on the goal. He is also able to use the keeper, who must stay inside the shooting zone. All shots must shoot from inside the shooting zone. For a progression, shots can only be taken from outside the shooting zone. The coach plays the ball out and the two players sprint out to the ball. The players must attempt to win the ball and then dribble through one of the 4 goals. Players can score extra points for making a dummy run and turn away from goal. This exercise has a shooting line at the top of the 18-yard box. 2 gates are on the shooting line. Player 1 dribbles the ball towards one of the 2 gates. Player 1 has crossed the shooting line, player 2 can attack the goal. Once player 1 has defended the goal, he then joins the back of the queue. 2 goals are set up parallel on the baseline. A counter line is marked with a baseline distance of around 35 yards. The attacker tries in a 1-on-1 situation to get around the defender to score. If the defender wins the ball, he counter-attacks to the counter line. In this progression, you see the coach deciding to go stand by one of the goals. This is the goal the attacker must attack. For this exercise, you are to split the pitch into 4 lines. Players play 1v1 inside the lines. Players are not allowed to cross the lines. Players can pass the ball into the teammates. The object is to score on the goal. In this exercise, split the pitch up into 4 squares. Players play 1v1 inside the squares. Players are not allowed to cross the lines. Players can pass the ball to teammates, but the object is to score on the goal. To progress the exercise, add neutral players on the outside who can be used as rebound players for both teams. In this exercise, players work in groups of 6. There are 4 attackers and 2 defenders. Out of the 4 attackers, 3 of the attackers have a ball. The 2 defenders are trying to steal the ball and keep the ball. The 4 attackers are trying to dribble and find the open man whenever possible. Attackers get a point every time they are able to dribble and find the open man. In this exercise, player 1 passes the ball into the feet of player 2, who must attack the goal and try to score. If the defender wins the ball, they can try to score on the 2 small goals. The attacking players can choose to use the other attacker as support. In this exercise, 1 passes the ball across to 2
and then closes 2 down. 2 tries to pass or dribble through number 1's gate.
Player 1 tries to dribble past Player 2, who is only allowed to defend in front of the cones. After the dribbling player crosses into the middle, where 2 players wait to shoot a goal, by turn start from left and right. Player 1 dribbles the ball towards one of the 2 goals. Once Player 1 has crossed the shooting line, Player 2 can attack the goal. Once Player 1 has defended the goal, he then joins the back of the queue. Split the group into 4 and put the attackers on the inside cones and the defenders on the outside. The coach plays the ball in front of the attacker, who must aim to dribble through one of the sets of cones before shooting at goal. The defender has to track back and attempt to regain the ball and make a clearance. 2 players play inside the square, one acts as the defender and the other is the attacker. The 2 players on the outside play the ball into the square and the attacker has to turn and play the ball to the opposite receiver. The coach plays the ball out and the 2 players sprint out to the ball. The players must attempt to win the ball and then dribble through one of the 3 goals. Players can score extra points for making a dummy run and turning away from goal. The coach plays the ball in from the side. The 2 central players play a 1v1. They have to find the players in the end zone. The players in the end zone are allowed to move from side to side to find space to receive the ball. Once the game has ended, the attackers move into the end zone and 2 more players play the 1v1. The centre midfielder plays the ball to one of the attackers on the wing who plays 1v1 to goal. After each repetition, the wingers and the centre mid switch roles. If the goalkeeper or the defender win the ball, they counter-attack to one of the counter goals. A progression can be that the centre mid can enter the play to play a 2 versus 1 or be able to switch the play to a 3 versus 2. The player with the ball starts his attack from inside the end goal. When the attacker touches the ball, the defender is able to come out and defend the 2 goals. Players must dribble through the goals to score. After their turn, players switch sides. The red player drives the ball into the centre of the pitch. The blue player runs onto the ball to take his first touch into space. Red sprints out to defend the ball. Blue must try and shoot for goal as soon as he is within shooting distance. After the drill is complete, the blue player collects the ball and joins the back of the queue. One of the keepers always starts with the ball and he must play it out to the forward and not the neutral wingers. Once the attacker has received the ball, he can then choose to pass to a winger or dribble past the defender and attempt to go to goal. The game continues until a goal is scored or the ball goes out of play. 2 teams of 6 players, red versus blue. In turns, 3 players from each team play 1-on-1 to 3 small goals. All 3 pairs play at the same time. Goals can be scored in all of the opponent's 3 goals. Change after 1 minute of maximum play. Player 1 passes to player 2. Player 2 then lays the ball off to either the red or the blue team. Once this ball comes in, 3 and 4 are allowed to attack or defend going to goal.